Kaylee with EatPlantsLiveWell, and I'm here to make a video, and that's related to a blog post I wrote the other day for EatPlantsLiveWell.com, and it's about restaurants. And the title of my blog post is "Restaurants Are Evil?" ? And of course, restaurants are not really evil. But the reason why I wrote the blog post is that restaurants can be tough, and in terms of if you're eating out a lot, you know, whether it's one time a day, 5 or 6 times a week, however many times you're eating out, if you're relying on restaurants to provide healthy food for you, then this is a great video to watch, because I think restaurants are just tough in terms of restaurants are making food for the masses, and so they're making food that contains high amounts of sodium, high amounts of sugar, and high amounts of added oils and fats. And so you really can't, if you're wanting to maintain a healthy diet, you really can't make restaurants your primary source of food. So what you really should be doing is making your own food, you know, buying it organically at, you know, a good grocery store and preparing your own food. So that's kind of the takeaway for the video, but what I really want to do is to show you a video from Dr. Michael Clapper, and he addresses in this video, the video is about olive oil and how it's not a health food, but what he also addresses is eating out at restaurants. So take a look at the video here.
On to restaurant food. It's delicious, and as a bachelor, I used to live in restaurants, and my blood pressure was up, and I was carrying 10 pounds too much. The reality is that restaurant food is ethnic flavored salt, sugar, and fat. When my friends ask me to go out for dinner, I say, let's see, well, do I want Italian flavored salt, sugar, and fat? Ooh, maybe Chinese salt, sugar, and fat. Ooh, haven't had East Indian salt, sugar, and fat in a while. Ooh, Thai flavored salt, sugar, and fat's really nice. Restaurant food is full of salt and sugar and fat. That's what make it taste so good. That's what the chefs are putting in the ingredients back in the kitchen there. And then they serve it to you with seared flesh or overcooked vegetables. It's the reality. Does that mean you should never ever step foot in a restaurant? You're going to have to. There's social pressures, etc., to do that. All I can tell you is that don't kid yourself that anything healthy is happening in those kitchens. They're not. And you don't want to eat a whole lot of it. I've gotten my restaurant eating down to very seldom as possible. Less is more when it comes to restaurant meals. And you know what I do before I go out to eat? I eat. And I have a salad or a bowl of soup at home, so I'm not famished when I walk into the restaurant. I don't finish off half the basket of bread before the waiter gets there. So eat before you go, and order as healthily as possible. Order the vegetable soup, the steamed greens, eat it, and get the vegetables there as soon as you can.
So what do you think? He kind of tells it like it is in that video. I love that. He's very straightforward. Just get in and get out. Yeah. So, but one thing he addresses too that I love and I use all the time, and I really think you should put it in as part of your plan for either going out to restaurants, or if you're going out to a special event where food is provided, like say a wedding or something. I always pre-eat. And pre-eating serves a couple of different purposes. One, it helps you in terms of if there isn't food available that you can eat that's not healthy or plant-based or raw, if you're all raw, if there's not food that you can eat, then you're okay because you've already eaten. So pre-eating is eating whether it's soup or a big salad or a juice or a smoothie. So eating that before you go to the event or to the restaurant is a great idea. And again, it helps you in terms of making you feel full. So maybe you don't eat as much if you have, you know, options there. You do have any options there. You can get something small, which you typically probably wouldn't if you eat like I do, where you eat larger meals. So you could order something off the, you know, the menu that's small and be okay with that because you've essentially already eaten. So it's a great position to be in because you feel like more like you're in a position of power because you're not at, you know, having to find something and feeling like, you know, deprived because you didn't really get to eat and you're hungry the whole time. And so pre-eating is a great option. So think about pre-eating whenever you're in that situation or wherever you go out. And it also helps you in terms of, let's say the event is delayed, like the food, maybe your reservations come up and you get seated and actually get food like an hour later than you thought you would, so you're hungry. And so the pre-eating helps because you're not going to feel as hungry because you've already eaten something before you got there. So it's perfect. So the other thing about restaurants is think about ordering off a side menu, ordering side dishes. I always order side dishes. And the reason why is, one, you get to sample a lot of the different items that the restaurant might have to offer, so you get a little more variety. But two, side dishes are typically, a lot of times they are vegan or can be veganized or made healthier, in terms of you can order it without a lot of oil, or you can order it with no salt, so you can order like sauteed vegetables or a side of potatoes with hopefully less oil. So you can make some alterations, and it's easier to make alterations off the side dishes than it is off an entree. In other words, like if you have to take out 4 or 5 things on an entree, it just gets, well, kind of annoying. It's annoying for the server, it's annoying for you, and it can be annoying for the kitchen, and a lot of times they might forget and put cheese on top of whatever it is you ordered and you asked not to have cheese. So to make it easier on everybody and to probably get you what's most likely a healthier option, order off a side dish menu. It's a great way to go. Now the other thing about restaurants is, this is the key, most restaurants nowadays have their menus online. So if somebody suggests a restaurant, a group of people, and I've been in this situation before, say a steakhouse or something, and you know, it's typically not very vegan friendly at a steakhouse, but I've had really good experiences at steakhouses, and the reason that, and what happens is, before I go to the restaurant that, you know, friends have suggested I check out the menu online. So I check out the menu and I'll know what I'm going to order before I even get there. So then I'm not in a situation where I'm panicking, like, oh, there's nothing on this menu for me, and I get frustrated. I already know what's available. I've seen it online. I already pretty much know what I'm going to order. And that helps me stay healthy too, as far as like, I know what I'm going to order. I'm not going to deviate from that. I'm not going to order something that's unhealthy, that I typically don't eat, that might be a little more indulgent, and obviously wouldn't be anything with meat or dairy, but it might be something that has more oil or more fat that I'm not interested in adding to my diet. So good luck with the restaurant thing. But mostly, as far as the restaurant goes, I guess my thoughts for you and my advice is, when you're going to a restaurant, you're outsourcing essentially your food preparation. And what I like to say is, don't outsource your food production or your food preparation. That's really something that you should be doing. And I know some might argue, well, I don't have the time, or I don't have the skills, but those are things that you can acquire the skills and you can make the time. And it's a priority. And if you're watching this video again, you're probably plant-based, you might be raw, partially raw, mostly raw, all raw. So you're probably interested in your food preparation and your health anyway, to a degree that most people aren't. So don't let those things be outsourced to a restaurant. Make sure that you're doing those things yourself. You're going to the store and you're buying healthy, organic ingredients, and then you're going home and preparing them. And whether you're mostly eating fruit, so there's not a lot of preparation, which is perfect, or you're eating some cooked items, so you might make a soup or a salad, those are things that you should be doing on your own. And so that's my advice to you as far as restaurants go. You know, try and stay away from them as much as possible when you get in that situation. You know, make sure that to either pre-eat and or, you know, check out the menu online, know what you're going to order, and then also just make sure that you know, you're ordering maybe off the side dishes and getting the best option that you have available to you at that restaurant.